Here we go.
Let's do it.
Hey, folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I'm Robert, your resident Gen Xer over there. We've got John, your resident millennial. Useless as always. John, how are you this evening?
Doing all right, just hanging in there, taking it day by day. All those other cliches.
Yeah, I love it when you whip out the cliches.
Yeah,
So, how was your weekend? Was it exciting?
super exciting. Played some tabletop game on Saturday, as you know, and then worked yesterday, so that was pretty awesome. That whole like employment thing.
It's
It's pretty lame.
nauseating. Nauseating.
Yeah,
Got a few folks in the chat. We've see
yeah,
Stephen Ignoramus there. How you doing tonight, Stephen? I see Midget
that's
B
right.
asshole as usual. Thank you, Midget. How are you tonight? Glad to have you here
As
in
always, a
spirit.
resident wrench,
The wrench.
the
Always a
resident
wrench
wrench.
in the program. Always a
Yeah.
wrench. Always a wrench. Hey, John.
Hey.
While we're coming into this, hey, we need to make a little keep an announcement going, and we've got a little
Oh
something
yeah.
happening here in the near future. John, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what we've got coming up this month?
That's right. On Friday, April 19th, we're doing a 12-hour live stream for charity. We'll be giving money to our good friend St. Jude. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we have some guests coming on. The two that we have absolutely confirmed right now are our own Stephen Ignoramus
That guy over there
and
in the
the guy
chat.
in the chat. And we've also got Jay Edgar, and they're going to be Stephen Ignoramus is going to be moderating a debate between Robert and J. Edgar about guns and such. So
And
that'll be a lot of
such.
fun
Wait,
and
wait,
such.
wait, 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 wait. Nobody
What?
told me anything about and such.
Oh yeah, no, there's going to be an and such for sure.
Shit.
Yeah, better be prepared. And then so I'm working on getting some other people involved. We'll see how well that goes. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. What I was thinking, and I haven't actually talked to Robert about this, so this is going to
Ooh,
be fun.
thinking.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, that's why it
mm,
smells like
mm,
burning
mm,
in
mm.
this room. But
Oh, this
but
is
no, I was
never good.
thinking
Never good.
every level while we're getting money for this charity, we're gonna do something stupid. I think that would be a good idea. Do some kind of at this
Some
level we'll do this, at that level we'll do that.
something stupid like
So
record another show or
no, no, not something like that. That would be really stupid. No
not
one wants
that
to see
stupid.
that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no
Gotcha.
one wants to see that.
Gotcha.
No, I mean, just something fun, I guess. Maybe something humiliating, something like that. Sometimes you have to humiliate yourself on YouTube. It's
No,
part of the game.
I'm not down with humiliating myself. I mean, come on.
I agree, Midget P.
Stephen better be a good moderator to keep Robert from getting all tedious. Tedious is my thing. It
but
is my thing.
but anyway, if anyone has any ideas for stupid shit we can do, for reaching a certain level on the way to reaching this goal, then let us know either in the comments below, in the chat right now since we're live, or Twitter, Discord, wherever you might follow us. And yeah, no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Super excited.
Super excitable.
Super excited. Oh my
Sweet, that's gonna
god.
be fun. So
Yeah.
so tell your friends, tell your family, tell your friends' family, and make sure everybody knows. And we'll see if we can get some people to help raise some money and help children. Children are fun. I like children.
Wow.
They're not just for zoos anymore. I'm just saying.
No?
No.
They're also good for slave labor around the house.
Now
Mowing
see,
lawns and doing
see,
dishes,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
sweeping.
John, you need to understand that no matter how much you hear this talked about, it is not supposed to be a topic, a public topic of conversation. You have to keep it low key, or
Ah,
they get the gist of it, and then they start asking
start
for
catching on.
money and stupid shit. And it's like,
Psh,
look, just
you get food, don't you?
wash the dishes, right? Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
You get food, don't you? I just
right?
bought you new clothes, right? Yeah, so you get
You're
fucked.
still walking upright, right?
Right.
You're not
Exactly.
right,
But
right.
yeah, so as you can see, we all care a lot about children here,
I, I,
and at the generational gap.
I,
So yeah, we're gonna be
I,
doing some cancer research.
I
Hopefully,
love
we
children sautéed with a little butter and garlic.
can. Yeah, so we want to cure that cancer that some of those kids are riddled with. That way, they can get back to washing dishes and mining coal or whatever kids do these days.
Is it wrong to say it gives the meat a gamey taste?
Well, I mean, isn't gamey from like when they're running
Damn it,
around?
John! Don't overanalyze it.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
anyway,
hey. I have every intent to talk about this on Friday, but I just wanted to point this out. The news media has been blowing up today about a whistleblower in
what?
Washington, a whistleblower in the security clearance department.
Yeah,
Yeah, she says that a lot of people got security clearances that were denied before they got them. I can't wait to see how more of this falls out. I want to see who's on the list. And well, we already know Jared Kushner because that's why they were looking
yeah,
into it in the first place. But it'll be fun to. It's going to be interesting. So keep your eyes peeled on that with me, John. We're going to talk about that Friday. It'll be fun.
yeah, definitely.
I think it might be. I think it might be because I have some kind of strong opinions about security clearances and national security kind of stuff. And versus transparency. There's that part, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why the Whistleblower Act is so important and why it needs to be protected.
But the only reason why I'm giving some credence to this enough to keep my eyes open and keep an open ear about it is
Hmm.
because the woman who supplied the information has been working in
Has
that
denied
department.
the information.
Huh?
No, I was doing the fart thing. She who supplied it. You know.
Denied it.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's been doing the same job for 18 years, so she's been through two other administrations. So my thought is, if she's calling shenanigans, there might be a reason. There might be, but
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely worth keeping tabs on for sure.
yeah. So let's have fun with that. Hey, you did mention something. I was going to bring something up because I think it's a little bit funny, and maybe the audience might share my opinion on this. But
But
you mentioned we were playing a tabletop game this weekend because we
yes, yeah,
we we play together, right?
yes,
We
we're in the
play
same gaming group.
we play D&D. We do Star Wars and different stuff, and currently we're doing Mutants and Masterminds, right?
Yeah,
Superhero campaign, right?
superheroes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Now you've got a character,
I do. Yeah,
and I've got a character. Now
it's true.
I'm playing a female character,
Yeah,
a
because
female
you're
hero
gay.
because it's kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
There was a good story there that I wanted to pursue from a superhero standpoint. It's the first time we've done a superhero game, so it was like, all right. And you've got one which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
mine's my favorite, obviously.
yes, I would, Midget. I certainly would. I typically play females. Like even in video games, I usually pick a female avatar
Of
because
course
if
you
I'm going to
do.
be in, primarily from third person, like if I'm going to be third person on them, because if I'm going to have somebody
Yeah, that
running in
makes
front of
sense. You want
me,
to see
I
their
want a
butt. Yeah,
nice ass in front of me running.
yeah,
Right? It really comes
that
down to
booty.
aesthetics for me. What I'm looking at.
You
You
don't
know.
even wear armor. You just like wear the spandex or whatever.
Now
Whenever
I
the
don't role play it. I don't role play it in the video games. Now I will role play it on the tabletop that we do, but
obviously,
I don't
yeah,
role
you have
play it in
to.
the video games.
Stephen
Robert is
McNamee said you're
Cosgang.
cosgaying. Get
Uh,
him.
if only they knew that of which they speak, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's pretty gay. It is pretty gay.
Only to the misinformed. Only to the
Yeah,
misinformed. Hey,
and
hey, man, I can't take credit for what happened in the '60s, man.
to what Midget B said, he said, "What's John Fagman?" No, I'm actually
Actually,
Meta because my superpower is meta, is being able to meta game, and so it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I get to talk to like the players, like the character gets to talk to the players as opposed to just me talking to the players. My character can actually address the players and the GM. So he's got like, and anything that I personally find out about the game, my character knows as well.
Hmm.
It's
But
pretty useful.
what's his only downside for me?
Uh, for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, go ahead, tell him, John.
Yes, like Muhammad, exactly. Piss be upon him,
Like
indeed.
Muhammad.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what you're trying to get at.
You know what I'm trying to get at. That your character won't stop chasing my character's ass, trying to get in her pants.
It's only because you keep shaking it in front of
I
me.
have yet to shake a damn thing in front of you. In fact, I've been very staunchly resistant. If I
You're
am
playing
not
hard to
mistaken,
get. It'll happen.
is
Don't
that what
worry.
it is? I'm playing hard to get.
Yeah, playing hard to
So
get.
you admit you are currently role playing a character that's trying to get a piece of ass from me, right?
Hmm.
Nice. I
It's
like
true.
that.
I'm
Wear it,
also like a
John.
15-year-old boy, so I'm trying to get any
Yes.
kind of piece of ass anywhere.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. But I'm controlling your ass.
That's true, midget B. My character knows that Robert's character is played by an 80-year-old Chinese man in panties. Exactly.
Why would I constrict myself with panties? Come on.
Because you're probably into that. I don't know. You're into weird shit. You're
80 year
probably
old
into that.
80-year-old naked Chinese man. It's the only way to fly.
Well, naked except for panties and stockings.
No, because then you're not naked.
I said except for.
No,
You're
you're not
topless.
naked if you're wearing something. I there's specificity there, John.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Steven
just
just
did you
he
came.
came.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, no, it's a fun campaign though. Having a lot of fun with it.
is it you said it's the only it is the only whatchamacallit, the only superhero RPG you've played tabletop, right? But
Yeah.
have you played them? You've played them before
Not
on the computer at all? Have you ever played any?
superhero game?
Yeah, like
No.
DC Online or
There was also what was that one a long time ago
Champions.
that was that what it was?
Well, there was one,
No, it
but there was
was
another one besides Champions, and I'm trying to remember the name of it because that was kind
yeah,
of
there was an
like my.
MMO that I played for like 5 minutes because I fucking hate MMOs. I can't stand
I
them.
want to say it was made by Paragon Games, and I can't remember what the
Hmm.
name of it is. And I always do this because I did it. The thing that I liked about their game was the character builder, because of course, for me, that's a big factor in
Oh yeah, that's
any
the most fun.
MMO, right? Building those characters. And they had a good one for building the heroes. I thought was really good. I wasn't in love with some of the other ones that I played, Champions and etc.
Mm.
Even DC. Marvel has yet to do a good one though. I've been waiting. I'm
I
waiting
don't
for
think they
a
need
Marvel
to.
MMO. God damn it, they do. Oh my god, that's I mean, if you can set up the Marvel universe to where people can play characters that don't, aren't necessarily the iconic heroes, but of course it's such a diverse universe. It's hard to come up with anything new there.
Yeah, yeah, but like, and yeah, Mitsubi, I agree. Marvel hasn't been worth a fuck since 2012. That's really true.
Yeah, well, they're getting paid like they're worth a fuck, and I understand about the whole, the direction that they took
Well,
with
people are idiots. So
the whole
what are you gonna do?
social justice wah wah, the comic gate, and all of that. But
Yeah.
they're still bringing it like a boss when it comes to money. I mean, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean, if whatever, if people enjoy it,
City
fine,
of
go see it.
Heroes,
City of Heroes, yeah.
they had an excellent character builder. I loved it. I think that I'm going to look because I know it was around for. I don't know if it's been canceled or not. But a lot of times, some people will mirror a site for that, like, and they lose money year after year, and the artists get paid squat.
Mm.
Marvel, he's Midget's not a fan of Marvel.
I'm
He's
not really either. I've never been a big fan of the superhero thing. The only reason I am into this game is because of my superhero, because he's fucking hilarious.
yeah.
And like it's meant to screw with the game. Not, but it doesn't really screw with the game. It's more meant to screw with the GM. That's a lot of
Well,
fun.
I still carry a soft spot for Marvel and for DC, even though DC's movies aren't necessarily awesome. Uh, the you know I was reading those comics.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, Midget B, Disney likely won't renew the lease in New York. I know you're talking about all this. You know who else talks about that? It's Jeremy from the Quartering, who has tentatively said he'll be on our charity stream. So we'll see if that actually works out or not. But that would be really fucking cool. So you can ask him all your questions and such at that time. That would be fucking sweet though. Tenchi. Tenchi's also in our gaming group.
Midget
And
has
yeah,
before.
yeah, he played the Star Wars one for a little while. He was a Jedi Porg. That was pretty hilarious.
He doesn't.
Those were good times.
I get the feeling he doesn't really love playing
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like it.
tabletops.
No, we had to force him to.
Yet he's fun
At
to play
gunpoint.
with, right?
Right, when he actually fucking plays, yeah.
And not in a gay way, just in the tabletops.
Right.
He brings some good dynamic to the game, and I don't
Right.
think he
But he just
truly realizes it.
no, he doesn't because
You
he
know,
just wants to fuck with the game.
if
But
he
it's like,
really
no, you're actually helping.
right, if he explored his potential,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, no, because he's creative and he's got,
yeah.
got the potential to do it. He just fucking hates it for some reason. I think he thinks he's too much of a nerd if he does it, but like, I
Well,
promise, Midget, you're a nerd anyway, so just embrace it. It's fine.
there's probably some childhood trauma associated with it. I mean, I could
Actually,
understand
that makes sense. Yeah, I can
somebody
see that.
like he got stabbed with a four-sided die or something.
With the D4, yeah. Oh man.
But yes, yeah, I want a new good one. I did enjoy playing those because I think the superhero games really have a lot of avenue. I told you I was looking at one though that had a good take on it, where it was the
Oh, see,
role playing
Midget
ruined
B.
his life.
Yeah,
When,
and he killed his mother and
yeah, you're
kidnapped his dog.
he's blaming it on role playing. I like that,
Yeah.
John Wayne Gacy. Um, was I saying? Was I saying something? I was.
No,
Yeah, I
probably not
was.
anything interesting. Something about you wanted to get like a new MMO,
Oh yeah,
superhero MMO.
superhero MMO. The one that I looked at, the Base Raiders, that I've talked about wanting
That's
to play,
right.
that I
Yeah,
thought was kind of cool, where all the
murdered
superheroes
my
and
hamster. Yeah.
all the superheroes and supervillains are gone and are taken away from the planet, but all of their junk is left behind, their bases, their layers, and so you play a group of people trying to gather their technology, their serums, their projects and stuff to make yourselves new heroes.
Sorry, mid just being funny in the chat. So it
The
took.
love of this life died to a gelatinous cube.
God, what was she like a level negative fucking 4? I don't know.
You know
Whatever.
what? You
How
know
do you
what?
die to a gelatinous cube?
Because
Jesus.
if you roll a a critical fail, you can
She
have
was
one
a
of
half
those.
elf. Oh,
You can,
half elves are hot though. Just
you can
saying.
have one of those really bad zombie movie moments where the
Oh yeah.
zombies are moving extremely slow, but somehow you just wind up not getting away from them
Like a
fast
really bad
enough.
dream where you can't run.
Right? It's like you trip over a thumbtack that's in the hallway and you fall and you sprain your ankle and you get up and try and
Yeah.
limp away and then bump into a pipe across the hallway and the next thing you know they're right behind you.
They're just on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate when that happens.
That's how the gelatinous cube happened, I believe, because otherwise, what the fuck?
Oh, you know what we could do? If there's
What?
anyone out there
No.
in the
Hello,
chativerse,
hello, hello. Is there
is there
anybody in
anybody
there?
in there? Just not if you can hear me. No, we should do a generational gap role playing game on Roll 20. That would be a lot of fun. I'd be willing to DM it.
So, would the characters have to be from a specific generation and role played
No.
properly? Because that would be
No.
a generational gap role playing game.
Yeah, I
Right?
understand.
You see
No,
where
I
I'm
mean,
going?
yeah, no, I
But we
understand.
could set it in any kind of universe. Like we could do, if you wanted D&D, that's cool. But you know,
Yeah. We
present
could talk
day,
more about it after the
present
show, but
day,
that would be a lot of fun.
present day
Because
Generational
remember the
attitudes
campaign
in
that I was running
D&D.
before this one, before the one that we're doing now.
I don't
I
remember
was,
yesterday, John.
the the one that I was just doing where you guys were all halflings.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was planning on running that on Roll20 with a bunch of strangers, but I mean, it'd be a lot cooler to
I was doing good
have
in
people
that
we know.
game
I know. I wanted to continue it, but then we switched. So yeah, no, that would be fun to do. I think it would be a good idea.
because you wanted to be a meta hero.
Maybe we can even stream it. I don't know. We'll talk about it off the air though.
I don't want
But
people seeing us act stupid.
but yeah, if anyone's interested
Wait,
though, let me know if they're interested in playing. That would be cool. That'd be like really cool.
it would be cool. So, anything else
Yeah.
happening interesting coming up? We got anything coming up? Any fun? Any
Um.
excitement? Is there anything
And
going on in
yes,
the
that's
world?
true, Majippy. We do switch campaigns like ADHD schizo. It's true.
It
We
is
change
true.
campaigns a lot.
Actually,
It's
this one
really
we've been a,
unfortunate, actually.
actually this one we've actually spent more sessions on
But we've
consistently
gotten
than
almost
any
nothing
other, but
done.
have gotten so little done.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
little.
We keep chasing leads that lead nowhere, and then yeah, I blame the DM though. Just say
I wouldn't say it on the air though. Wait till we're done
it. I know.
recording.
No, because I think he's watching. Actually, I can hear our stream in the living room. So
Well, as long as you blame the DM, that's important.
yeah, he won't find out. Mm.
Did I hear that?
Ah,
Did I hear something? Did I hear the peanut gallery?
I think so. Yeah.
Tell them to keep it down out there. We're trying to do a goddamn show.
Well, I think you just did, but yeah, no. I mean, that would be fun though. Oh man, it would be really cool if we did our first session during the 12-hour charity stream. That
No,
would be really cool.
I don't know, John.
It's true. If you whisper, no one will hear it. It's true,
If
Midget. You're right.
if you whisper, no one can hear you scream.
That's right. See,
I think that works. But I don't know. I don't know about role playing it. I have to have a good avatar.
yeah, all right, yeah. It
Got
might
to
take a
got
little
to
bit
put
more
up a good
time.
avatar. Maybe
We'll see what we can do.
maybe we'll test it out. Maybe we'll you know
This shooting the shit episode is actually just brainstorming episode.
yeah. This welcome to brainstorming the shit.
Yeah, this is actually kind of how we brainstorm ideas for the show. Just kind of talk shit, see if there's any good ideas that come out, reject all the bad ones. There's a lot of those. A lot of those.
A lot of bad ideas. Do you think,
Yeah,
John? What did
sometimes.
I just posted something today. What did I post today? It wasn't a bad idea.
Wait, where'd you post it?
In the show suggestions.
Oh, in the.
I can't pull it up right now, so it's one of those
I'll
things.
yeah, I'll go look for it.
It was something. It was
Um,
mildly interesting. I think because of the spin. What was it?
Wait, you said today?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
All you
was.
have is a couple of articles in here
That's what I.
from today.
That's typically what I post in show suggestions. Is links to articles that we use as a springboard. You understand how this works, right?
Yes, no, I understand. Yes,
So
absolutely.
what was the last one I posted?
Something from the Intercept. Let me see.
Yeah,
Let's see.
this.
Chicago
Yes,
prosecutor
okay,
Kim
there it
Fox
is.
refused to go after Jesse Smollett.
That was an interesting article because it's
Yeah,
basically applauding this woman for not prosecuting Jesse
right,
Smollett because she's against this mass incarceration that goes on in our prisons.
right. So when someone actually does
Since it
something,
wasn't a violent crime, she doesn't feel like she needs to add to the mass incarceration
I
by
mean, wasn't
sending
it
someone.
technically though?
It's a grade 4 felony,
He
and
got
right there,
beaten up as well, so that's violent, isn't it?
right, right, and that's the
Okay,
thing. And
just saying.
I'm
Just
like,
saying.
you notice the word felony is in there. Grade 4 felony.
Yeah,
That's different than getting busted for some weed. Now, my guess is those probably some of the jail terms they put on those guys they call them felonies too.
Oh yeah, well I
But
mean, there's
you
for
know,
a certain
there's a
amount of weed you
difference.
can get a felony.
There's a difference. I'm just saying. There's a difference.
Oh, Stephen Ignoramus is over there advocating violence, and I'm not disavowing.
Hold on. Where did he advocate violence? He
He said
said,
he should just get his ass whooped.
"Oh, that's midget doing that, wasn't it?"
No, no, no.
No, wait.
Stephen Ignoramus said he should just get his ass whooped.
Oh, you know what? I see. Damn it! My top chat
Mid.
was on.
Oh, you dummy.
Yeah, that gets. There we go.
Her
Yeah.
freaky ass looking like a baby got her head squashed with their tongues pulling her out.
What?
Looking over there with snaps and shit.
Oh,
What they call them when you were young? Like
what?
snaps? Because that's what it was in the 90s.
Snaps.
Snaps. Like when you're roasting someone, when you're saying, someone's head looking head ass and shit like that. Like you
Oh,
didn't do that?
oh. You were busting somebody's balls.
Or dissing someone or,
You
whatever
dissing
the.
dissing was a
Yeah.
thing for a while. You were dissing, you were busting their balls, you were heckling. I mean, hell, a lot of times people would call it heckling, but roasting was a
Well,
thing too.
heckling, I think, is different.
Roasting was still a thing back then too because we had the Dean Martin roasts, the original
Mm,
roasts, right? So we had grown up
yeah.
watching those. But yeah, dissing somebody was like 80s, 90s.
Yeah. You're dissing or I don't know. We always call them snaps. I don't know. Maybe that's just stupid. Maybe
It
no one
is.
else did. I don't know.
It is. It is. Because I think maybe that was a derivative of like the response to someone
Like, oh, snap. Yeah.
burning someone. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, snap! Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah. That was like mid 90s, late
burn,
90s.
burn
Yeah.
was a big one back when we were
Burn.
young.
Yeah.
Burn. Oh, burn, man! You got burned.
Yeah. You need some aloe vera for that burn.
Put Jesse in the stocks and let each person walk past and get a slap.
Oh.
Oh,
No, you throw heads of lettuce at them, man. That's what you do. Throw heads of lettuce and tomatoes.
but yeah, I thought that I put that article in there, and it just depends on what falls out from this Jussie Smollett thing over the next week. We may have to revisit the topic, but I thought it was pretty sad. Someone was applauding her, and I'm like,
Of course,
wow,
there's going to be somebody applauding. I mean, naturally.
she did not look like she had a penis to suck, but that is exactly what this article was doing, just blowing her up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can suck a clit. I mean, you ever suck a clit, Robert? I
Didn't
mean, come
need to
on.
get to all that detail, John.
Just saying, you didn't have to say she had a penis.
I
It's
didn't.
very controversial these days.
I didn't say she had a penis. I said I didn't know that she did. That doesn't say she does. That just says I don't know
Ugh,
if she did, and that
minutia.
is what makes the difference,
You
right?
can't see it behind the sunglasses, but I'm rolling my eyes at you.
They see, and when you do that, that's fucked up.
Send hot pewds. Yeah, go subscribe to PewDiePie, guys. He got
Sin hot
passed,
pubes.
actually.
PewDiePie. Oh,
He
PewDiePie.
got passed by T Series for a little while. I think last time I checked, I'll check right now live on the air. But last time I checked, he was over 4,000. But he got passed for a little while. Let's see.
Midget, you say all the dude, the feds are going to tear that nasty ass insect crawling lid off this funky ass honey jar. So my question is,
Oh, that's not what I'm
um,
looking for.
I asked this question before. Should the feds get involved with this, with Jussie Smollett? I mean, I'm
Are you
assuming
asking
that's
me?
what he. I'm asking Midget because I'm assuming that's what he's referring
Oh
to. But
wow,
because I know the feds
holy
talked about getting involved, but
dude, our dude Pewds is 123,000 subscribers above. Holy shit, that is insane.
PewDiePie.
Yeah, because for a long time they were like neck and neck, a couple thousand apart, and then
Now,
T Series passed them
yeah.
or passed him, and then now he's 123,000 above. Good for Pewds, man. Good for him.
Now
Yeah, the
see,
congratulations video was fucking hilarious. That was really good. And then now, now he's 123,000. Someone must have bought him some sub bots or something. I don't know. Must have happened because that's a huge margin now. That's gonna be hard to pass. So good for him.
we'll get there.
Yeah, right.
Keep li- keep just keep plugging along.
You know that they're like the distance between the two of them is more than most YouTubers get total, like in their entire YouTube careers or
Yep,
whatever.
yep. It's pretty hardcore. Scary stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we did see the Illinois Bar Association letter
Yeah, we talked about it on the. We went over that letter
on
in the
Friday.
show. Read
Yeah.
most of it. But I'm gonna, and that's. But see, that's where the question comes in. I mean, you know, I'm trying to determine if if they can call some of the crimes committed federal crimes because it was all handled on a local level. Or did they
Well,
get
so
the
the
FBI?
mail,
Oh, the FBI was involved
the
because of the letter, but they have to prove that he
yeah,
actually sent that letter.
right, and
That's the
that's going to be
key,
hard to do. Yeah.
right? And I don't know that they were being brought up on terroristic charges because that would fall into the purveyance of the federal if they
Hmm.
chose. That's why I'm trying to determine if it's okay for the federal government to step in outside of anything that involved the FBI. If they were
Yeah. So
involved
the
because of the letter, then yeah, I guess you were obstructing justice. You were falsifying reports to
well
federal investigators.
sending threats through the mail is a felony, is a federal crime because you're sending it through the mail,
Right.
even if you're sending it to yourself.
Well, and Midget, I will say this: that when you say were they investigating a hate crime, I know it was being
Hmm.
called a hate crime, and they were trying to put it out there as a hate
I think they
crime.
were investigating
Uh,
it as a hate crime, which means that yeah, the
right.
FBI would have been involved. Yeah,
Okay. So
which is
if
ridiculous in the first place. I mean, hate
right,
crime is stupid.
well, if it weren't for the very nature of some of the crimes being bred of hate, I mean,
But I
the
mean,
only
why does that
reason
make
the only
it
reason it's
different? Like, if you
happening.
murder someone, you murdered someone. I mean, I don't see what the
Well, if you hang three black people, it's different than shooting three black people, right?
is it.
There to a certain extent in the eyes of those of us on the outside. I mean, we're going to say,
I
okay,
mean, you still murdered
that
three people. I mean, that's what
one
matters, right?
one was sending a very specific message. The other, you know,
Yeah, I mean, I
do you see
guess,
what
but
I'm saying? I
I
mean,
see what you're saying. Yeah, but I just don't. I don't know. I mean,
more
is there a
just like
different?
with him, that crime was more appalling. He tried to make it more appalling by putting a noose around his neck,
Oh my
making
god, that was
it
so
to
stupid.
imply the hate crime, to
And
seal
then
the deal on the
he kept it
hate
around his
crime.
neck. Like
Right
I could
for
just picture him in a shitty like Chicago apartment eating his Subway sandwich with a noose around his neck
right, trying not to get mustard
before he
on it.
calls the cops. You
Try
know.
trying not to drip mustard on it.
Yeah.
But that key element there, right? That triggers. That's the hate crime trigger that he incorporated. So and that is ultimately what I think really. It's a cultural thing that we're going to address these in that way. You go in and just shoot a bunch of people up. It takes you saying, "I did this out of hate for this." But if you, much like the fellow over in Denmark, he was very specific in why he did it, not necessarily out of hate, but out of fear.
Yeah,
But
but I mean, is there a difference between like, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think of a good comparison. You know, like killing your wife for something. You know what I mean? Or like the way that you did it.
right,
Should that matter? You know what I
okay,
mean? Like
and
if
and that's
you,
understandable. So if there you're basically saying that if two black men are shot and one was shot because of random shooting, and the other one the killer says I shot him because I hate black people. Those two
yeah,
crimes are equal justice in the law, right?
and they have the equal an equal
Right,
result.
right.
You know,
I
someone's dead.
understandable. Um,
I just
but
think that
we
the
don't
hate
have
crime
a
thing can
we
be
just
used,
we
can be
don't
abused, and
right.
that
Oh, it
I think it
absolutely
is
can.
being abused.
It's a being
And
abused
that's
on
a
both
problem.
sides. It's both sides are abusing it. One more than the other, I think, in all of these various falsified accounts of hate crimes, right? Because we've seen that there's a
Yeah, oh
lot of these
yeah.
going on, right? But other people use it to their advantage as well. So the side that opposes hate crime are using it to their advantage by calling it out to try and get legislation, to try and
Hmm.
get the federal government to step in and expand their reach on these things. Um,
Right, and Stephen Ignoramus here puts it in a good way. It literally creates infinite options to interpret a law.
right.
Right. So, I mean, it
That's
creates a harsher punishment due to, I guess, your motivations.
and
So
sadly
that's the only.
it
Oh,
allows
go
for
ahead.
bias too.
Right.
Like
Not only that, but
who's sitting at the bench, right?
you have to. Yeah, yeah. You also have to determine what is in someone's mind, what their thoughts are.
Sure, and
So
that's why I
unless they
say
come out directly and say it's
right,
because he was black or something like that, there's really no way of telling.
right. But of course, as I say, as I pointed out, we're in a present day culture where those triggers are going to be looked for, right? We're looking for the trigger,
Oh yeah,
right?
whether it's
Um,
there or not. Yeah.
right. Or we're going to try and create one. We're going to try every time that one of these things happens, a mass shooting, for instance, they always start looking into the background and ties. Who did he have ties to?
Right.
How horrendous can we make his ties look, and what he was doing that made him can we turn this into a racially motivated thing? Can we turn this into a religiously motivated thing? Looking for that trigger.
The religious thing hasn't been really a big deal in a while. It's other than like a certain religion
Well, we had a
who
Jewish
follows a certain
synagogue
prophet.
within the last 2 years. We had a Jewish synagogue. Or how long ago? Well,
That
it
was
was just
last
within
year,
the few
like
months, just at the end of the
yeah,
last year, wasn't it? That
towards
was
the end of
shut
last year.
up,
Yeah,
right? So I mean, we're not that far removed from it anymore, especially and sad to say, these kind of things get perpetuated by these arguments that go on as to who we recognize in the Middle East from the standpoint of
hmm
Israel and Palestine, and that one just, I'm like, wow. I know we have to recognize to a certain extent who's in charge, but man, I wish our opinion didn't matter on their disputes, right? I
yeah.
don't want our opinion to matter because it
See,
does
I
create
like
situations here.
the way that it used to be back in the medieval ages where the rule was if you can keep it, then you can have it. If you can't, then you lose it. So that's the whole. Yeah, I know, Midget B. He's getting kind of black pilled over here, aren't you, Robert?
Because why? Because I wish we weren't so deep in world politics. I
Well, yeah.
really wish
So
we weren't. We
yeah, no. I
you
mean,
know,
we need
this
to
is
we need
not
to stop
this
being
is nothing new.
interventionists for sure.
Right, and this is nothing new for me. This is normal for me. I don't want to be out in the world sticking our nose in people's problems or being
Right.
dragged into their problems. I mean, look at it. Look at what's going on in Venezuela right now. Now
Hmm.
it's trying to become a Bay of Pigs situation with Russia, right? They're
The proxy war.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be involved in that stuff. We've got too many things to deal with here.
Yeah. I'm not interested in dealing with other countries
Um,
in that way. At least in that way.
and when we do, I do believe that it has an impact on our population, especially with the divisiveness that we have in this country. We are many times literally on the edge of confrontation with certain groups throughout this country at any given time.
Yeah. I think we
And
need to deal with our own shit first, and then we
right,
can start, trying to help other people, other countries, but we'll see.
I really I wish we were less interested in foreign interests. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what do they really have on us or for us that really just drives us to have to be neck deep in this shit?
Well, it's our mentality that what is it called? The city on the hill mentality, where we're supposed to be, an example for the rest of the world of how to be, of what how other countries should run their countries. And so, we kind of come at it with that. Oh, we need to be helping people because we're so wealthy. These kind of things. And then, yeah, Midget B also makes a good point. America's an empire. We got to maintain it. And I disagree that we need to be an empire, but that is the way that it is.
I mean, but can we not maintain an empire in which we still actively trade with people without, and still maintain an isolationist approach to it to a certain extent? I mean, we mix a little bit of socialism in with our democracy, right? With our republic. How come we can't mix some isolationism in with our global politics, with our global trade? We don't need to be
Yeah,
a
I mean,
part
there's
of your
no reason.
problems, but let's make money off each other. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no reason why we can't do that. But wait, Midget B called you a vagina? I'm not sure what he's.
Um, he's seen it, so he's just he's never really gotten past it. It's still on his mind.
Yeah, fair enough. But now I
When
lost
you
my
show
train
when
of
you
thought.
when you
So
show a guy your vagina, we've got this
we got to.
huge, nice.
It's true.
Hey, Jay
What
Edgar,
is?
good to see you tonight.
Oh yeah, what's up,
Western
man?
imperialism, but
But more Western imperialism.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean we need to knock that shit off. It's about time we stop that bullshit.
I just I what
We're big enough. It's fine.
is it really the only way that we get the
Here's an idea.
trade that we do?
Let's
Is it
let's
absolutely
not
that
let's not pull
necessary?
a let's not pull a Napoleon and expand further than we can handle. I think that's a good idea.
Well, we haven't. I mean, we don't
Mm,
expand. What have we taken? Where do we expand to?
yeah, we don't take territory, but we control it through puppet government, establishing puppet governments, and putting
Well, sure, but
trade sanctions and things like that.
and that's ultimately all it's really about is the money that goes between the countries, right? Which is one of
Well,
the
yeah, but you had to enforce your sanctions with something, right?
well, sure,
Military
I get
and
it.
you know,
But I understand the purpose behind it, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, what?
annex Canada. Fuck that. We don't want Canada.
Well, that's what I'm
Fuck Canada.
saying. I mean, if
We should get
how
we should
many,
get the Upper Peninsula. We should get into Canada.
how long have we had North and South that had we really wanted to, we could just have it, right? I mean, how hard would it be for us to take Mexico now? You know,
But why would we want Mexico? We don't want Canada. We don't want Mexico.
because with that,
Fuck
if
that.
we had Mexico, we wouldn't have to worry about a border wall. We just have to worry about breaking it up into a few more states.
Well, if we did that, we'd have to. Yeah, Canada wishes they could be annexed. They'd be fine. They'd probably apologize if we annex them. They'd be like, "Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to add a whole bunch of land to your country. Sorry."
See, I agree with Jay Edgar. I mean, why don't we just start
Well, if we
annexing
did
our
that,
way
we would need
down
to
through into South America?
we would need to annex all the way down to Panama so that we can stop the border there at Panama Canal because that's the thinnest spot. It'd be the easiest to put a land border
Why
there.
don't look, since many of them are already heading this way, why don't we just move all the way down through South America? I mean, if we're going to
We're not playing
expand,
risk here. We're not just gonna.
but it's the perfect thing. I mean, all these people want to come to America, most of them
Wait, 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 wait,
already.
wait. Hang on. Stephen Ignoramus says we took Quebec once. Did we? I don't think we did.
It had a
Did
three
we?
it had a 3-day warranty on it, like a lemon clause. So we just went ahead and gave it back. On the second day, we were like, yeah, no, keep it. You know.
All right. So let me. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up real quick because I don't know. I don't know if that's true. So keep talking.
No, Edgar, I did not hear that. I didn't hear that one yet, but I will. I will listen to it. But I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Battle of Quebec.
I mean, if we've got like all this territory we could just
Oh.
claim, and then we would be something to be
Oh, the
reckoned with.
attack failed. Okay, so yeah, during the 1775, during the American Revolutionary War, Patriot forces under Colonel Benedict Arnold, who gets a really bad rap. I mean, that poor bastard. If you actually know like the story, he got fucked over so hard. But yeah, they attempted to capture the British occupied city of Quebec, and with it won support for the American cause in Canada. The attack failed, and the effort cost Montgomery his life. The other general, Battle of Quebec was the first major defeat of the Revolutionary War for the Americans. Yeah, so I don't see us having taken Quebec. I don't see it, but
There's a good chance that Canada wasn't sure how it worked. Like
oh yeah, the
when they
British
were
did.
there,
Yeah,
they
the
were
British took
like,
it back.
okay, well, I know technically we won, but don't you still get to take us over anyway? Maybe that was their thinking. They're
I know
like,
we
they're so
tried to.
nice. They're so nice. They're like, you know what? You guys
They
fought
weren't so
really well.
nice.
You can have it.
They weren't so nice during the American the War of 1812 when we
It
invaded
was a
Canada.
different time, John. Different time.
Yeah, we invaded Canada from three places, and they all failed. It was absolutely horrible.
It's a
It
different time,
was.
John. Nobody expected those Mounties to do the kind of things that they did.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were riding Reese into
oh,
battle and
and
everything.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah,
Just saying, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
moose and squirrel. Yeah,
We,
I
we
saw a good
is.
meme about that actually. That was about the Russian collusion thing
Oh
when
yeah,
the Mueller report dropped. Yeah, and it was like who what was it? Natasha and who was the
Boris.
other one? Boris? Yeah, Boris and Natasha. Yeah, and it was like says there were no collusion and blames the fake news on Moose and Squirrel or something like that. It was pretty good.
We blame fake news on moose and squirrel.
Moose and Squirrel. Yeah,
On
those were good times.
the moose and squirrel. Just the one meme. Eggs Benedict Arnold. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Dude, Eggs Benedict is good as fuck
That's
though.
what I'm saying. He does get a bad
It was
rap
actually
because he
worth
came up with
him
some really
trading.
good,
Yeah,
good fucking eggs.
it was worth him being a trader
Does he still get
to get those
royalties on?
eggs.
Does his family line still get royalties on those when I buy them? Because I eat that a lot.
I doubt it.
I think he should, man, because that thing was.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Shit is good.
now I'm going to put it out there. Typically, it's got the Canadian bacon, right? Which is
Canadian bacon.
right ham.
Yeah.
But and it's really good, and that's typically how I eat it. But I did go to one place, and I'm going to put this out there. They were doing like this little thing where was it IHOP or Perkins, one of the two, maybe. And they were jazzing up eggs Benedict, and they had it in different ways. But they did one that was an eggs Benedict, but instead of the ham, it had sausage, and instead of the hollandaise sauce, they used a really good cream gravy.
It's okay, Stephen Ignoramus. That's why that's your last name.
And
Hence his last name.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I think you were thinking of yeah, exactly. I think you were thinking of the French and Indian War. Is I think what you were referencing,
are
which
you
I believe has a different name because I know that was a false name, French and Indian War, but I can't remember what the real name was. Now I have to look that up. God damn it.
what the real name of the French and Indian War?
Yeah, it was. There was a
Yeah, it was
different
the
name.
French and Indian War.
Well, no, the God damn it,
Hey,
the Fourth Intercolonial War.
I
There's a French name for it, but I'm not gonna even try and pronounce that
I
shit.
saw that Mel Gibson movie. What was it? The Patriot. He talked about the French Indian War. He
Oh
called
yeah,
it.
The Patriot. That was such a shitty movie.
Yeah, it had its moments. It was no We Were Soldiers, but it wasn't horrible.
Let me try and get this better. Let's see.
So I was surprised. Nothing April Fools
Oops.
hit the internet. Google, it didn't seem to do anything. Ironically,
7 Years War. That's what it is. It's 7 Years War. Thank God. That was bothering me.
okay,
Yeah, the 7 Years War.
yeah, French Indian sounds better. I think. The I thought I thought I was being April Fool's pranked today.
Yeah, with the
The security clearance story.
yeah. That's
Because
not funny enough to have been
right.
in April.
Well, I
So
thought
yeah.
what had happened, and here's what I thought. Okay, because Google's like they can come up with some shit, right? We've seen that Google can do some silly shit.
Hmm.
So I was searching this story. I was looking for information on it, right, about the security clearances, and I pulled up, and there were all these news articles, and I even narrowed it down to the last 24 hours, and I had like 7+ pages of news articles.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, I'm going to go on Twitter and see who's covering this because I want to touch on it and then bring it up, for the show on Friday. Blah blah blah. Go on Twitter, and we've got like 100 and something people, 100, almost 150 different, or 130 that we follow, right? And a lot of it
Hmm.
is new media, things like this, and outspoken folks, even the president, blah blah blah. Nothing. I'm starting to scroll through and I'm seeing nothing. I'm seeing nothing. I'm seeing nothing. And I'm like, how is nobody talking about this when I see so much new, mainstream media blowing up about it? So I
I saw that
actually,
Stephen Ignoramus. I believed it too. That Ron Paul was declaring his run for president.
yes,
I
again,
saw that. I really wanted him to. I wanted it to be true.
this is sad. But
I
no, I
wanted.
actually thought Google had put something together to where, like, whatever you search for first in the day, it would just, I don't know, it was some weird conspiracy mind fuck in my head that Google might have been doing until I actually just searched it on Twitter and I'm like, oh, there's where all the people talking about it are. They're just not
Yeah.
on our feed.
I just don't follow any of them. I guess even the lefties I follow, I guess, weren't talking about it. Because I mean, I
Yeah,
follow
I mean,
several of them, especially like
yeah,
blue checkmark journos and
it's
such. I
it,
follow them.
it's
They weren't talking
almost
about
it's almost as if there's starting to be a waiting period before people jump on a news story now. It's like,
No,
I'm
that doesn't make
just
any sense.
no. It wouldn't make any sense in this present
No,
day.
I think they just weren't jumping on it because it's April Fool's Day. I think that's the only reason.
Edgar said, "How long will my announcement podcast be?" What does that mean?
Yeah, well, because they were saying about Stephen Molyneux
Oh,
made a 40-minute podcast saying he was a
yeah.
Stephen Molly meme, as he's known. Didn't he, if you guys can confirm, because I remember this from a few years ago, didn't he get caught, like, commenting under his own YouTube channel? Like, I remember something about he was, like, writing as a woman, saying, like, oh, your podcast is so great, and it's helped me out in my relationship and all this other garbage. But he had forgotten to sign out of his own account. So, like, he said all this as Stephen Molyneux instead of as whatever, account he was trying to be.
Oh
I'm
no.
pretty sure that happened. Unless it was like a, Berenstein thing. Could be.
A Berenstein thing?
Yeah.
You mean a Berenstein? What?
Yeah. The Mandela effect.
I thought you were talking about the Berenstein Bears.
Yeah, it's part of the Mandela effect where everyone swears it was Berenstein Bears, but it's actually Berenstain. Yeah, Stephen. I remember that from a few years ago. I mean, fact check me for sure, but I do remember that being a thing. I mean, maybe he's changed by now. He's actually got a following, but yeah, this is probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, I speaking of presidential candidates, because I'll pull out my Wang boner here. Um, I was watching him at Georgetown. He was talking to a class, I guess a poli sci class or something to that extent. But they were asking him about marijuana, and he said if he was talking about his stance on it, but he did say that again he's against the mass incarceration that goes on with it. He said if he's
Hmm.
elected president on April 20th, um, the year he goes into office on April 20th, he's going to have mass incarceration releases across the country, and he's going to go to as many prisons as he can to shake hands with inmates as they come out of prison, being pardoned
Oh, good.
for their low level weed crimes is what he's
Yeah. Okay.
talking
Yeah,
about.
that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
So he's gonna mass pardon everybody that's in there on these low level weed crimes and let them all out
Badass.
on April 20th, the year that he's elected.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck
he's
yeah.
like, I think that would be the coolest thing. He said that would be the right day to do it, and
Yeah.
he said I would love to be able to go to every person I can, shaking their hands as they walk out of jail because it's just
And
fucking.
yes, J. Edgar, it was Shazam. I don't care what anyone says. Fuck Kazam. It's definitely Shazam. I don't care.
It was yeah, no, you
See,
don't.
that Mandela effect shit is real. I don't care what anyone says. That shit is real as fuck.
I've seen a couple of previews for the new Shazam, and I'm like, really? You decided to make it a comedy?
Wasn't it before, though?
No, no. They did. There was
Wasn't
a
it?
kid. There was a kids show. There was a kids show that was Shazam. I saw Shazam as kind of like he equated to Captain Planet for me.
Oh, you're talking about Shazam, like
The old
the
car. There
electric.
was actually a
Yeah,
comic book
yeah,
for
like
Shazam.
electricity as his power or something like that.
Yeah, there used to be a comic
Yeah,
book, and then there was a television Saturday morning cartoon with Shazam in it. And
yeah,
I mean, it wasn't like laughing funny stuff. He was a superhero. He was Shazam, you know.
yeah.
But then I saw this one, and I'm like,
We're talking about the Shaq movie, though, right?
yeah.
Shazam.
Kazam
No,
did not.
fuck Kazam. It's Shazam. I don't care what anyone
Well,
says.
the K is not typically pronounced with an sh sound, but if you're not familiar with actual Shazam,
Yeah,
no,
I don't care.
Kazam was
No, I
nothing
remember
like it.
Shazam on WB Kids when I was like 11 or 12. That was pretty good. Make it
Well,
fun,
I'm not
funny
saying
looking.
it had to be dark, but it it could have been a PG level movie, but it didn't need to be greatest American hero kind of goofball.
Kick-Ass
Or
was a good
Tick.
movie, J. Edgar.
He kind of me. It reminds me just a step up from the Tick because the Tick is kind of campy humor,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But yeah, J. Edgar, he says, what about Kick-Ass? That I think that was a pretty good movie. I think it did well
I know. I think that
with
was.
its being serious and being funny at times. It didn't take itself too seriously, but it did when it needed to. I mean, I think it was decent.
I thought it went to the. I thought the two extremes were a little distant. Like the darkness of it didn't mesh
Yeah,
well with the comedy for me.
I don't know. I liked it. I liked it. Like
I don't.
especially that aspect of it.
I think they were too far removed. They were just a little too far removed from each because it's like, okay, wow, that was just a very killing thing that just happened right there. But then they're going to try and crack some jokes, and I'm like,
Oh, you know
mm,
what? Also, everyone right now needs to shame J. Edgar because he did not like Deadpool.
what?
Yeah, he needs shaming.
Get out of our goddamn chat.
That's right,
How
shame.
dare you? Wait,
Yep.
hold on. Before we go any further, we have to clarify something. Was it Deadpool as a whole that you did not like, or was it Ryan
The
Reynolds
movie.
in the role?
What? There was no one else who could play Deadpool. Who else would play Deadpool effectively?
It's got another. But for some people, it could have been the Deadpool might have been a great movie, but it was ruined because of the actor. I don't understand. I could
No, there's no
understand
one
that
else who could have
there
played
might be
Deadpool.
people that don't like Ryan Reynolds though.
Who
You
wouldn't
know,
like Ryan Reynolds?
well, there are people. There's got
No,
to be somebody out there that doesn't like him. Ex
I refuse to.
girlfriends.
I
There's got to be
refuse to
ex
believe that.
girlfriends,
I doubt it. I,
boyfriends, ex boyfriends.
I doubt that they wouldn't like him still. He would be the one to
You
break up with
liked it the
them.
first time he played Deadpool, and you're talking about in Fox with the in the Wolverine origin story when he played Deadpool. Then
Kevin Hart is Deadpool. Oh my god, get fucked. Get fucked, Dinchy. No.
yeah, see Kevin Hart as Deadpool. That could have been some funny stuff.
You thought the writers were trying too hard? I can see that. But I think they pulled it off very well. I think the second one wasn't as good because they were trying to recapture the magic from the first one. But the first one was amazing. I don't have any criticisms of that movie whatsoever.
Now, and I will say that because having read the Deadpool series in Marvel, they really didn't try too hard because in the Deadpool comics, he rarely says anything serious. I mean, it's typically almost everything that comes out of his mouth is something sardonic, something
Yeah,
sarcastic,
which I love that
something
word, by the way,
you know
sardonic.
yeah. And he's doing that consistently in the comic book. So for it to
Yeah,
be in the movie, and that's another thing that was very much true to character was the breaking
the fourth wall.
the fourth
Yeah,
wall, because he would do that in the comic books as well, and sometimes address the
right.
audience. So I think they did a good job of bringing that to life. Now I won't say that it, you know, I can see how it would become repetitive, redundant after a while, that everything is just sarcastic, 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 making a joke, roasting, whatever. But it it seems to work for the character. It really
Yeah.
does. You know, I really, what I wish they would make, and I'm going to put this out there, and maybe one of these days somebody will do it, but I don't think Disney would ever do it. Was the Marvel spin-off that was done in the comic books, the Marvel Undead, where it
Wouldn't
was
know.
basically a virus that hit the planet. It was turning people into zombies, but heroes got infected with it as well. But it was this ravaging hunger zombification. So basically, the heroes wiped out all of humanity because, of course, they were supers, retained their
Right.
powers, and they were zombies. So they wound up wiping out Earth. And then they're like, okay, well, then they left Earth and they started moving throughout the fucking galaxy and started going planet to planet and wiping out planets as they went. And so they basically wiped out the universe. Like they were going through, they wiped out every habitable place they could find, spreading the zombification and eating brains. And the thing that was funny about Deadpool was, as this story progressed, Deadpool winds up being nothing but a head being carried around by Swamp Thing.
Makes sense.
Right? And so he just never shuts the fuck up. And he's talking
Yeah.
to somebody who doesn't speak back. He's being carried. Swamp Thing? Was it Swamp Thing or Man Thing? But yeah, just being carried around by somebody who doesn't speak back to him, and just and it's hilarious to a certain extent. But it was a brilliant storyline. I mean, it's like, wow, supers becoming zombies, and then like their insatiable hunger is so great that they use their superpowers to wipe out the entire universe of living beings.
It's kind of cool.
Would
But
make
yeah,
for an
with J,
interesting movie.
but yeah, J. Edgar was saying you have the perfect Deadpool, and the writers tried to be offensive. They tried too hard to be offensive. I don't agree. I mean, I don't think they were all that offensive. Even like, I really think it was pretty tame for what it could have been.
Um,
But like,
is
it was just, I
is
don't know. I think the story was really compelling. It drew me in the entire time. Even the fourth wall breaks were just kind of like, and that was it. It was, for a split second.
well,
That
let
was
me
it. And then, so I mean, I don't know.
let's
I
let
don't think they were trying too hard. Honestly, it's
let's
just
get a a clarification on being offensive. Are we talking about being offensive from the standpoint of, I guess, from a rating standpoint, a family orientation standpoint? Because one thing that is going to be true about something like a Deadpool movie coming out, being that it's a Marvel Universe film, a
hmm
lot of kids are going to want to see it. Right? Kids are
sure,
loving the superhero movies, right? They're going to see all these superhero movies. So the target audience, and even if it's not an intended target, that target is going to, that audience is there.
hmm
I can see that a lot of that movie, I would not have wanted my kids
of
necessarily
course,
seeing.
sure.
You know,
It's a
that's
rated R movie. Yeah,
right. But you know how parents, in the present day,
right.
they will make allowances because because the kids will be like, oh, it's just another superhero movie, mom. I don't know why it's rated R. Maybe they show somebody's butt or something, or
Well, in the
maybe they
age of
say
Google,
the
I
F
mean, come
word a
on.
lot.
Yeah,
Um, but it was kind of graphic. They went for some graphic violence and everything that it was close to being NC-17, and I could agree with that from the standpoint
I
of
don't know if I agree with
it,
that. It
it
has been a while since I've seen it, but I don't know if I think it would deserve that rating.
weigh it from an individual standpoint. So if you take like the gratuitous the blood gore, right? There was a lot of that gratuitous head
Yeah.
cutting off, hands cutting off. I mean, chopping his own hand off to get away from
So
Colossus is some hardcore shit to be
so you
having
would have to
kids in there
agree then.
watching.
You would have to agree then that The Exorcist was trying too hard
Trying too
to be
hard?
offensive. Hmm.
I wouldn't agree that they was trying too hard to be offensive. I think
I wouldn't either.
it was
So,
but
right, I think it's the same kind of deal where there was a lot of gratuitous, especially during that one scene, the notorious.
with the
Uh,
crucifix?
oh yeah, yeah,
Sure.
especially that part. But yeah, that was way worse than anything that Deadpool did.
I would
Way more offensive.
the only thing I'll say in defense of that is that it was made at a time where parents actually did not let their children watch this kind of thing
Oh bullshit!
over
Everyone I've ever
to the
seen,
larger extent.
anyone I've ever talked to who's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen The Exorcist. It fucked me up when I was a kid." It was because they saw it, whether their parents allowed them to or not. They saw
Hmm.
it when
Well,
they were like
okay,
12.
and we'll factor in
Like
that, but
so. What I'm saying
there's a
is like
difference in what
I don't
parents
think
would
it's
allow
special,
kids to watch
and the
then
fact
and
that it
what
was
they'll.
trying. What I'm saying is I don't think it was special, and the fact that it was trying too hard. That's really my only point. I don't
Um,
really don't think it was trying harder than any other movie.
Well, I do. I can agree that it's possible they went with for some of the shock factor and some of the
Oh
things they did.
sure,
So
sure,
and maybe that's what he's referring to more than anything is
maybe
that they
yeah.
went a little too far with
But it was more
too
about the
many shock
snarky
factor
comments.
hits.
It's more about the snarky comments that I think made it a great movie.
Hmm.
The dialogue was great,
I
especially
I
fight scenes were really cool. I
I don't.
mean, it was.
I wasn't happy that they didn't play the romance out
I'm not happy that
between him and his roommate.
they didn't mention chimichangas like the entire time.
He,
That wasn't that his
did
thing in the comics,
he referenced tacos or something, or
but
did
that's
he
not
did reference?
chimichangas.
Wait, didn't he reference chimichangas at one
I
point?
think he made one in a microwave. I think that was like the only reference, like a microwavable chimichanga. I think was the only reference. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but
But I was sad that they didn't pursue the romance. Like
hmm
they build this romance between him and his roommate, and then they just really never pursue it, and they get him involved with this other chick. And it's like there was something real brewing there between him and Uhura.
or yeah. And J. Edgar, I don't know. I mean, I think you're, I think you're reaching for flaws. Honestly, I really don't think it took a lot away from anything. I mean, we can disagree.
Something in that movie triggered him.
Yeah.
There's a trigger. We need to find out what
Was
the
it the My
trigger
Little
was.
Pony plush doll? I think it might have been that.
Was it the baby hands?
Might have been the baby hand,
Was
but I
it the
think it was the
baby
My Little
hand?
Pony plush doll he was jerking off to. I think that's what it was.
Maybe it was the lack of romance between him and Ahura. That everyone could. It was palpable. You have to
No,
admit it
I
was
know what it
palpable.
is. I know what it is. J. Edgar couldn't get Ryan Reynolds into his bedroom. Ryan Reynolds just ignored all of his
Oh,
calls.
like Edgar would have any problem getting Ryan Reynolds in his bedroom.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I was just,
I mean,
I was just
look who we're
butthurt
talking about.
because I love Deadpool. So.
Hey, don't be butthurt about Deadpool now. Um, I mean, you got to admit though, Deadpool might not be for everybody. You know,
No, certainly not. No, I was just giving him
I,
shit, and that turned into like a 20-minute discussion.
but you know what? I did. I kind of think that like the Wolverine movies, kind of went that direction. I think the Wolverine movies got a little bit too gratuitous with the
I
violence.
didn't like that one. What was the one where he went to Japan and was like fucking with the ninja dude?
That was,
I,
yeah.
yeah,
That
that one sucked. I hated that one. I'm not
well,
sure why. I don't really have like a direct criticism. I think it sucked. That was it.
I had a soft spot for that one because that was his first solo series back in the day when I was a kid, and he was my hero of choice. I mean, he was
Yeah,
fucking
I know you're a
Wolverine.
big fan.
And then he had that was the 4-issue miniseries that he first came out solo in that they did in that movie. It was basically the same story, following along with his long lost love there and everything,
Yeah, yeah,
going
whatever.
up against the Silver Samurai.
That's
Um,
who it was. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
it was. I will admit, I was a little let down after waiting so many years to see that story come to life on the big screen. Never expecting that it would. Um, but
Yeah.
I will, I will still to
I
this
just don't
day
think it was
try and get my
executed
hands on
correctly.
I will still try and get my hands on that series of comics. If anybody wants to get me that
Yeah.
for Christmas, um, or anything like that, that's 4 of them. They usually run somewhere 100, 150 bucks for the 4 books. 1982 was when the series
Oh,
came out.
we have a question from J. Edgar. What do you homos think about standalone Netflix non-hero characters?
Non-hero standalone Netflix characters.
What are you
Please
talking
give an
about? Like
example. I'm trying to think of one that he might be referring to.
the Green
Uh,
Lantern
well,
non-hero?
non-hero. Green.
Yeah, non-hero.
That's
Green.
really
Come on.
Green Lantern. You know what? Green Lantern. Sad to say, Green Lantern it was my boy on the DC side. He was my Wolverine on the DC side, but it
Mm.
was because I thought the Green Lantern Corps was really cool. I thought what they did was really cool. So um,
Yeah, I know it's DC, J.
oh,
Edgar. I
okay.
was just making a joke.
So
So
so Jessica Jones is actually a hero. She does have powers because she's really super strong and she can take a punch. She's almost like Iron Power Man or Luke Cage. She's very similar to Luke Cage in her powers. She's just not quite as indestructible as him.
hmm.
But she does have superpowers. Um, oh, but now you said non-hero. Well,
Yeah. See, the only thing I watch on
technically she
Netflix
was one
is
of the
like stand-up
defenders.
comedy
She's always been
documentaries.
a hero, even though she's kind of more, I guess, in a sense, would that be classified as the anti-hero, where she's just doing it begrudgingly because, she's sober.
Like doing it for some other motivation, like doing the right thing for not necessarily the right reason.
Well,
That's kind of an
she does
anti-hero.
things because it always winds up, especially in the Netflix series, it always winds up being those situations where it's like, fuck, I'm gonna have to save this person now. And she goes and saves him. So she does it for the right reasons because you save people. But Cloak and Dagger, I recommend Cloak and Dagger. It's not a bad one. Jessica Jones was
See,
good.
I just can't watch TV anymore. I watch what like 3 shows. 3 shows right now is all I watch, and that's South Park, Rick and Morty, and Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
That's it.
I will say this though,
I don't watch
Edgar,
TV.
as a parting note on all of those shows, if you're going to watch them, I would get about binging them now because they will be coming off the Netflix platform before much longer as Disney consolidates all its stuff to its own. Some of those may remain for a while, but it's questionable as to what will and won't, depending on how long the contracts they have are. So do bear that in mind, or you're going to have to pick up Disney streaming to watch them.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's fucked.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to come down to. All your Star Wars, all of your
Yeah, I'm not that
all of
interested
your
in the new
Fox
Star
stuff,
Wars.
all your Fox
Yeah.
stuff, all your Marvel stuff, all that's going to be on one Disney streaming now. They're gonna have a streaming channel that's going to rival Amazon and Netflix, quite literally, I'm sure. And Hulu.
That's funny.
Liv and Maddie. All right, and oh yeah, I could catch up on all those Victorious episodes I may
Oh
have
god,
missed.
you guys.
Well, Zach and Cody.
Beers and cigar and
The Sweet
scotch. Why would
Life.
you wait, hang on, hang on. Why would you drink beer when you have scotch? I don't understand. He says beers and
Beer is like
cigars
the
and
appetizer.
scotch.
You drink
No,
some
no, no. You
beers
don't
like
drink
with dinner, and then
you don't
after
drink beer
dinner
first.
you have scotch and cigars after
No,
dinner.
because your palate is all fucked up then with the beer,
No, because you're
and
eating
then you're just
food
taste.
too.
I mean, I guess, but no. And then also, if you're getting drunk, I mean, it's not a good idea to start with beer and then go to liquor.
John, can you
Never
stop
sicker.
acting like you're a fucking hooty snooty connoisseur of any of this shit, you Coors
I didn't
Light
say it was a
drinking
I didn't say it
motherfucker?
was a connoisseur. What I'm
Somebody could
saying is,
hand you a Pabst Blue Ribbon and you'd drink it.
yeah, you're goddamn right. I would.
So don't. I don't want to hear it.
PBR is a
If you
hipster
put that shit in your mouth, I don't want to hear you try and be an expert on
beer.
scotch drinking, bastard.
No, I'm not an expert on scotch drinking. What I'm saying is, you don't drink beer first
Yeah,
and then go to
you
liquor.
say you're not a
That's
cocksucker
from
too, but I know
experience.
you say you're not a cocksucker too, but I know you'll hold it in your mouth till the swelling
I've
goes down.
never said that.
You'll hold it in your mouth till the swelling goes down.
Hmm.
But anyway, folks, if you like what you're hearing, hit the like button. If you've never been here before, hit the subscribe button. If you have been here before,
You.
bribe somebody to hit their subscribe button and
That's
get
right.
us. And we'll build that follower base. John, don't forget we've got something coming up on the 19th. Sounds like a charity drive. We're going to raise some money for some kids, and
You.
we're gonna try and line up as many folks as we can for that 12-hour stream.
Hmm.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. John, they can find us at a couple of places. Where
They
can they do
can.
that?
There's two places, in fact, that they can find us. Two. Not one, but two. One of those places is Twitter, at the Gen Gap P. The other place you can find us is on Discord with the link down below. Go click it. Be
Yeah,
a cool
so
guy.
make sure and reach out to us, talk to us. The Discord channel is a great place to talk about the show, anything that you
That's
want to
right.
talk
We
about, or
need
you want us to bring some
suggestions
topics
for
up.
the
Yeah.
stream as well.
Hey, and if you bribe us just right, we may move your topic to the top of the list. I don't care. I'll do anything for money except that.
Right.
That's the only thing. But outside of that, John, I'm going to get the hell out of here. So I'm going to suggest you do the same thing, seeing as how I'm probably going to be the one killing the stream. So unless you've got anything to add, I'm going to peace out. And thanks, folks, for
Yeah, no, I
listening.
think we're done. Yeah, Jagger, that'd be cool. Just hit us up on the Discord after this.
We'll name the
We're about
show
to end up.
Return of the Mac.
There you go.
All right, folks, have yourselves a good night. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon.
All right, see you.
Peace.